Even before starting to date Andrea, Jonty was in the picture. I mean, in the video. I mean, behind the video. That's because under the pretext of running a videography business, Jonty actually attended the 2 last weddings in our family so that he could check out Andrea.
Was it in my mind? Wearing red and white, standing in the street.
More recently, Andrea would enjoy a Friday or Saturday night in, watching her sister's wedding videos, 2 of which had been made by a company known as Fable Wedding Films. Little did she know that those videos she was watching, they were filmed and produced by her future husband and his best man.
Swaying till now. Morning's coming. Swaying till now. Morning's coming.
It's coming up on 8 years that we've known each other, and we have worked on so many different projects, and I don't know anyone that works quite as hard as you do. Jonty comes back home at 8:30, 9 p.m., whatever time he comes home at, after a full day of work, circle, spending time with Andrea, whatever it is, and with your unconditional positivity, man, you asked me how my day was. Throughout these years as well, I thought I knew the best side of you, and then a few years ago, you found Christ. Shout out Jesus Christ. And then Andrew came along, and somehow all your virtues and the way you treated your friends, your family, your relationships, everything somehow just got even better through you, man. You just lead through sheer action of how you conduct your life, and you do it so well. Fable wouldn't be what it is today without you.
Andrea, in your teenage years, one of your special traits was that you treasured and encouraged family bonding time. You were a hug person. You wanted to hug everybody. You had super loud laughter and always spread the cheer in that way. In fact, nice story. At your first part-time job as a checkout operator, one of your customers even told you that you had the smile of Jesus.
Now I have to take it back to March 2019, where Doug George, the husband of the maid of honor, Jessica, asked me to film his wedding. It turns out that Andrea was one of the bridesmaids that day, and we both can't recall even talking that wedding. There's even a video of me hopping in the limo to film Doug and Jess, and Andrea was on Snapchat, and I was sitting right across from her, but for some reason, you didn't take any interest in me. Now, flash forward to January 2020, another of Andrea's sister's weddings, Samantha and Matt. Now here's when Andrea and I did talk a little more. And I was probably filming you one too many shots that night when I should have been filming the bride. However, years later, it would come to my knowledge that my darling wife had eyes on me that night as well. I have some screenshot messages Andrea would eventually send me from the very exclusive Rajakaria plus Husbands group chat. These are some of the messages that were sent. Samantha, why did he even hug you that evening? I didn't pay him to fraternize with the guests. Matt, I've been on Insta following your new man for a month. He likes Jordan Peterson. These are good signs. And now Nadim took a selfie of me at Warren College and he posted in this group chat. I don't know if at this point I should be concerned or happy that this was happening without my attention. Samantha, Jonty sent me a super long, sweet email. He's definitely keen. Now just to clear one thing up, Sam. Yes, I was definitely keen. 18 months later, in 2021, I was back in Bathurst with my family, and Bevan Jr. asked if they could give me a call. They said, "There's someone we think you should have a coffee with." Do you know a lovely girl by the name of Andrea Rajakaria?
Jonty had messaged Andrea with plans for a date, but before they could meet, Sydney suddenly went into lockdown. And with Jonty living in Bathurst, they were left with no choice but to get to know each other over FaceTime.
For the next 4 months, Andrea and I spent dating over FaceTime. Ange, I want to thank you for giving us a chance to still date and to still get to know each other over a screen. We had to spend the majority of our time making sure we had the big picture goals and values aligned. My faith is so important to me, as well as to you, my darling, and that was the glue that kept us talking even during that time. It also helped that you were just very hot.
Now, a little while ago, we noticed Jonty was in his room more often. Normally, this would be cause for concern, particularly when he started to take a glass of wine and some nibbles to his room regularly.
So I think I had my parents a little concerned at one point when I was on a date with Andrea. I'd walk upstairs, past mum and dad, grab a bottle of wine from the kitchen. My mum would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Going on a date." She'd be like, "Where?" "Just in my room." And it's like,
I'd been lying awake in bed that night, and upon checking my phone, there was a message from Andrea sent just a few minutes earlier. Jonty just asked if I wanted to say the rosary with him over the phone this week. My heart is bursting. Andrea has been ready for a marriage since she was about 20 years old. She's a hopeless romantic. At the tender age of about 5, she had already decided that her wedding day should mimic that of the closing scene in The Little Mermaid. King Triton throws a rainbow across the sky as his daughter Ariel sails off into the sunset with her prince. Those of us who are close to Andrea often wondered why this beautiful, smart, caring woman was being forced to learn a lesson in patience. Where was this guy that Andrea was earnestly praying for and would hassle the rest of us to pray for too? After all those lessons in patience, Andrea, your faithfulness and trust in God has been rewarded. It wasn't long ago that I was letting Andrea in on my own new relationship with my now husband. I would excitedly share so many details with her, and I could see that my joy was her joy. Now, witnessing your joy as you met and fell in love with Jonty has been my joy too. Andrea has a lot of love to give. She feels what others are feeling. It makes her a compassionate doctor. It's made her a daughter who is constantly saying "I love you" to mum and dad and demanding they say it back to her. It makes her a sister who is willing to listen when one of her siblings is suffering. It makes her a loyal friend, and Jonty, it will make her a perfect wife.
look, COVID lockdown was ending, and it was time for Andrea and I to tell our parents. Mum, Papa, I'm seeing a girl. Her name is Andrea. Ah, very nice, Jonty. Now, Jonty, what does she do for work? She's a doctor. Damn good, man. Damn good.
As their relationship blossomed, we observed a change in Jonty, a change for the better. Jonty appeared to be more energetic, smiling a lot, and more happy with life. Certainly no better indicators of finding the one.
As the months passed, and outside of lockdown, we heard about the exciting dates they were finally able to go on together. We got to know Jonty, and we were delighted in the fact that our Andrea had met a man of character, strong faith, who was clearly capable of loving and looking after her. And we saw the happiness Andrea exuded. It all became clear that, despite the waiting, the timing was perfect.
Allow me to mention that today is also the wedding anniversary of Andrea's maternal grandparents, Bala and Chandra, who have passed on. As some of you know, they both lived with us for many years and had a great influence on Andrea and her siblings. Andrea, I'm sure that Grandpa and Nana are celebrating from up there and showering blessings down upon you today.
Today would have marked 64 years of married life for them. I know they'll be so proud of you, and I know they're watching this on from heaven.
I have no words to say how happy I am, and I thank God for this wonderful family that He has put me into. And each and every one of you are so special to me. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for all what you have done for me in the past, and even to this very day, you have been so gracious to me.
Andrea, it is your faith and trust in God that has made this day possible. We wouldn't be here if you weren't willing to give a young 23-year-old boy from Bathurst a chance. Andrea, when I met you, I wanted to be a husband, to get married, but I wasn't ready. And instead of you walking away, you brought out the best in me and gave me a push to be the man that you deserve as your husband. But the truth is, Ange, I'm going to fail time and time again at being the man you deserve. I will fail at showing you the love you deserve. I will fail at not being grateful for what God has given us. But I know when I fail at this, I trust He will be there to pick us up and go through whatever life has in store for us. Life will give you a million reasons to say no to marriage. That it's not necessary, it can wait, that there may not be the one, that the grass is green on the other side. But all I needed, Ange, was one reason to say yes, and that was getting to become your husband.